realistic TRC-1007
versus the Intek H-520 Plus
and the Midland Allen 42 Multi. By Paul, you know my amateur radio call sign, or it's 26 Charlie Tango 730 if you catch me on 11 metres and PMR 446.
Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. It's Paul, Mike 0, Whiskey November uniform, or 26 Charlie Tango 730 if you catch me on 11 metres and PMR 446. Now today I've been out with the realistic TRC-1007, the Intek H-520 Plus and the Midland Allen 42 Multi. They all were used with the stock antennas, and the Intek and Midland also got the Albrecht CL27 long antenna fitted to them. My first port of call for these tests was about this afternoon at the down-home viewing point. Now, I went over the results of that, and, well, you'll see for yourself shortly. I then went up to the old race course later on this afternoon in Richmond, and the results were a wee bit better, which will say, well, when I say a wee bit, they were actually a lot better. And it did prove a very valid point. So, I also tested the realistic on transmit just before I left the house. I'll just put a clip of that in for you now.
test on low power outside the building with the realistic TRC-1007. Second test outside the building with the TRC-1007 on low power, just in case it didn't transmit. I can't see the TX line.
And that was me transmitting on the realistic just before I got in the car to head up to the down-home viewing point. Now, the next bit you'll see is me arriving at the down-home viewing point. With a bit of a forewarning that there is a bit of wind noise on the recording, unfortunately. There was not a lot I could do about that at all. So that's the next one that you're going to see up on the video. So we'll cut to me at the down-home viewing point. Hi guys, I'm up at the down-home viewing point today. I'm just filming in the car first because it's a little on the windy side, and I just want to forewarn you that there's probably going to be some wind noise on the rest of the video from this point on. So that's until I get back home and obviously do the rest of it. So I've got the 3 handhelds in the back, and obviously we're up here to test them. So basically it's the Intek H-520 Plus on both its stock and the Albrecht antenna. The same will apply again with the Midland Allen 42 Multi, and then the realistic TRC-1007 on its own telescopic antenna, because I can't obviously change the antenna on there, and that telescopic is actually longer than the Albrecht. So the realistic will be on the full 4 watt power. Well, it's actually 3.5 watts. It's advertised as a 4 watt radio, but it's in actuality 3.5 watts. So without further ado, I'm going to get out of the car, I'm going to set things up, and hopefully the wind noise shouldn't be too bad. So I'll catch you once I'm out. Right, I'm not sure if you can hear me over the wind noise. Do excuse it if you can't. Got the Intek H-520 Plus. It's on channel 20. The radio back at home, which President Grant 2 is on the same channel. So let's see what happens. This is a test of the Intek H-520 Plus on 4 watts using the stock rubber duck antenna back to base. Okay, swap it over for the longer Albrecht and see what difference that makes. This is a test of the Intek H-520 Plus with the Albrecht CL27. Radio is on 4 watts. So I'll swap over to the Midland, and then we'll do the realistic last. So that I do want to see. Okay, I'm still not sure if you can hear me over the wind, but we've got the Midland Allen 42, also on channel 20. Let the squelch off a bit. The on the stock first, so let's try that. This is a test of Midland Allen 42 multi on the stock covered up antenna. So 3.5 back or 3.1, testing back into the base. The radio is doing about 4 watts. Right, I'm not sure if you could hear me over the noise, but the wind noise, but that's unfortunate. There's nothing I can do about that, so I'm going to swap to the Albrecht and we'll see what happens there. Okay, this is a test of the Midland Allen 42 multi on the Albrecht CL27 long rubber duck antenna. I'm not sure if we can hear over the wind noise on the transmission or the video. The radio's going around about approximately 4 watts, which I should say give or take. It's hammies, so I think the batteries are starting to come in. Right. Now time for the one you've all been waiting for, the realistic TRC-1007. Still not sure if you can hear me over the wind noise, obviously, because it is very windy up here. This is the realistic TRC-1007 from 1987. Dated it to September 1987, I think it was, if I remember what the date code in the battery box was. My dummy batteries never turned up, so I got a refund off them, so it's still running on the same rather crude arrangement that I had. Okay, so before I use this, there's something most important I have to do, and that's extend this rather large telescopic antenna. I'm sure I explained in the first look at this the reasons why you extend that telescopic antenna all the way. If you don't, just checking it's extended all the way because I'm not 100% confident. Just being a top light fly there as well. Nice. So we're on channel 20. Can't really see it. So what I'm having to do is to be confirming it's transmitting. I've got the Thunder quality $3,000 car. So let's see if this radio will work. This is a test of the realistic TRC-1007 handheld from September 1987. Talking back to the President Grand 2 back at base. This is using the standard whip supplied with a radio, which is a telescopic. The radio is on 400 milliwatts, give or take. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, so that was a low power test. Let's go for the full 4 watts. Well, 3.5 watts actually. Okay, once again, this is a test of the realistic TRC-1007. This is a full power, 3.5 watts, as specified by the manufacturer, though sold as a 4 watt radio. This is the realistic TRC-1007 from September 1987. Testing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I'm not sure if you can hear me over the wind noise, but I'm doing my best. We're on the stock telescopic as supplied with the radio. Okay, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to go back home and I'm going to see how that's all come out. And you've noticed how I telescope that back down. Don't ever push it straight from the top because you will break it. So, right, I'll collate those results when I get back home. As you can see there, none of the transmissions actually made it back to the President Grant 2. I left the radio receiving here with the squelch turned fully down. That is the background noise always on, without putting your squelch on. Now one of the problems I have here, and I've had this all day, is there's about an S3 to S5 of noise, which is just down to the fact that I live in a block of flats and there's absolutely nothing I can do about it, and I have already checked everything in my flat and it's certainly not coming from in here. I've checked absolutely everything. So unfortunately there is really little I can do about it, except hope for a power failure. Which means I can run the radio off a battery. Well, I don't have a battery at the moment, but I do have handhelds that are battery powered by design. So obviously I can't connect an antenna to the realistic right now, which is something I can easily sort out if I look in the right places. So my next port of call was the old racecourse in Richmond at the Hergill Road end, because I know it's quite noise free up there, even though there's a house there. The other end, the Washington Road end, because since there's been houses built up there, that's kind of a no-go area now. really for radio, because the noise floor is just going to continue to go up and up and up there, where people are using the PLT devices, which by design fail the essential requirements that to prevent them from emitting RF interference in the first place, so they technically shouldn't be on sale. So that's the problem I think I have down here at the block of flats. PLTs and other nasty stuff like that. So there is some noise on the transmissions that were received from Hergill Road, because when I actually tried it from up there, well, you'll see for yourself in a minute. Okay, there's going to be a bit more wind noise on this. I've come to a different location after reviewing the footage from earlier today. Nothing got back to the Grand 2 at all, apart from the little test transmission I did before set off. So I've got the radios with me. Like I say, apologies for the wind noise. I'm a little bit closer to the camera so that my voice can probably be heard a bit better over the wind noise. So I'm going to start the tests again, same order I did them before, up at down home viewpoint. I'm actually at the Hergill Road end of Richmond Old Racecourse next to the grandstand. So I'll just get the radios and I'll start my tests. Okay, I'm taking a chance now. The wind is blowing kind of across the camera, there's nothing I can do. Because of the exposed location. Like I say, apologies for the wind noise, I'll do my best. So I've got the H-520 on the stock rubber, so let's see. Oh, there's the wind. Let's see if it gets back into the Grand 2 at home. This is a test of the Intek H-520 Plus on its stock rubber antenna from the Hergill Road end of Richmond Old Racecourse behind the grandstand. This is using stock antenna. The radio is operating at 4 watts. I'm not sure if you can hear me over the wind noise. On 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, so I'm going to switch to the Albrecht now. I'm going to have to stop the filming because the wind will inevitably blow the tripod over because it's quite light. So I'll stop filming and swap to the Albrecht. Right, we've still got the wind. I'm really close to the camera just so you can actually hear me over it. So I've also got the squelch one that's turned down. Right, so like I say, I'm close to the camera because of the wind. It's very windy. There's nothing I can do about the wind noise, unfortunately, so I don't have an appropriate microphone. But we're now on the Albrecht CL27 on the Intek. Let's see what happens there. This is a test of the Intek H520 Plus using the Albrecht CL27 rubber duck, the long type rubber duck. Testing back into the home base on which is a President Ground 2 with a boomerang antenna receiving. So radio about 4 watts. Test 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. This is location is the Hergill Road end of the Old Racecourse in North Yorkshire, just behind the grandstand. Right, now swap to the Midland, and hopefully we'll get some results from that.
Location is the Hergill Road end of the Old Racecourse, Midland, North Yorkshire, just behind the grandstand.
Okay, it's Midland's turn this time. Let's see what happens. This is a test transmission from the Midland Allen 42 multi using the stock rubber duck antenna from the Hergill Road end of the Old Racecourse in Richmond, North Yorkshire, behind the grandstand. This is using the stock antenna. The radio's doing 4 watts. 2, 1. I'm not sure if you can hear me over the wind. Right, so I'll swap to the Albrecht and see what happens there. Okay, turn of the Albrecht antenna on the Midland. Let's see what happens. This is a test of the Midland Allen 42 multi back into the President Grand 2 at home. And this time the handheld is using the Albrecht CL27 rubber duck antenna. Same location, behind the grandstand at the Old Racecourse in Richmond, North Yorkshire. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Again, not sure if you can hear me over the wind. Right, now I've done that, it's time for me to fetch realistic.
This is a test of the Midland Allen 42 multi back into the President Grand 2 at home. And this time the handheld is using the Albrecht CL27 rubber duck antenna. Same location, behind the grandstand at the Old Racecourse in Richmond, North Yorkshire. 1, 2, 3, 4,
no power, and we're going to test it on milliwatts. Let's see what happens. I hope you can hear me over the wind. Okay, this is a test of the realistic TRC-1007 on 400 milliwatts from the old grandstand at the Hergill Road end of Richmond Old Racecourse at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. This is on a realistic TRC-1007, which dates from September 1987, and it still works, and it's actually proving to be quite a sensitive receiver. Okay, full power time, because I can do that without stopping the video. So, let's see. Okay, full power, 3.5 watts from the realistic TRC-1007. This is a handy talkie from 1987, September 1987 to be exact, according to the date code in the battery box. Same location. It's the back of the old grandstand at the Hergill Road end of Richmond Old Racecourse in North Yorkshire. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I hope you can hear me over the wind noise again. And for the record, the receiving station is a President Grant 2 and a boomerang antenna. Right, let's see how we fare when I get back home this time, if it's received anything or not. If not, I've got a plan C, we shall say. This is plan B. Right, I'll see you when I get home. Hopefully the wind noise isn't too bad. So once again, telescoping the antenna into the radio very gently. Okay, catch you soon.
Okay, full power, 3.5 watts. Realistic TRC-1007, the handy talkie from 1987, September 1987 to be exact, according to the date code in the battery box. Same location. That's the old grandstand at the Hergill Road end of the Midland Old Racecourse in North Yorkshire. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I hope you can hear me over the wind noise again. And for the record, the receiving station is a President Grant 2 and a boomerang antenna.
Okay, the results are in from Hergill Road. So, both modern handhelds, they could only make the trip back so long as they had the CL27 antenna fitted. They couldn't do it on their own stock antennas at all, which does not surprise me, because those antennas are woefully inefficient. They do work, but only over a very short distance. However, the longer telescopic in the realistic, now that definitely proved something quite interesting. So I transmitted with that radio at 400 milliwatts, and it made the trip back, as you heard. If I didn't have the noise issue I was having there, then you would have actually heard it a little bit clearer than what it was, but due to the fact that I have about S3 to S5 of noise, that was nearly wiping that out. However, putting it up to the full 3.5 watts, it made the trip back no problems at all. Much better than the two modern handhelds with the CL27 rubber duck on it. So thereby, that concludes the TRC-1007, and pretty much all of the handhelds from that era can transmit, as long as they're able to do 4 watts at the very least, back to a base station that, well, even 400 milliwatts, back to a base station that is susceptible to noise, which this one is, unfortunately. There's nothing I can do about the noise. It's unfortunately part and parcel of where I live, and like I say, I live in a block of flats. So yeah, so I'm impressed with the realistic so far. I've got a couple more tests to do with it, and I think I will be putting that radio back on the air. So yeah, so I hope you enjoyed that. I mean, I do apologise about the wind noise. I'm going to have to get a microphone to deal with that little issue. But however, the realistic has proven itself 30 odd years after it was made. So that's not too bad really for a CB radio from 1987. So I'm happy that. So now I'm going to go about doing my standardised walkabout range test with the TRC-1007. I'm not sure how I'm going to do it. I'm going to try and work out the logistics of that. So I think it's worth me perhaps persevering with that and seeing how far it gets. So I'll do the range test in the same way that I've always done it. The range test when I did the Intek H-520 Plus, which I think might have been on its stock antenna, I did it with the RTL SDR receiving. It was my new Echolink SDR Smart that was acting as the receiver into that antenna that I've got up there. So that's how I'll do it for the realistic. I think the realistic might make all the checkpoints. So we'll just, if I've got time tomorrow I can probably do it then, but if I don't have time tomorrow that probably might be something for another time. So well, I'm happy to buy another radio from the 1980s because if they work, they're still usable. Just remember with eBay, just buyer beware. I managed to get mine for a reasonably decent price for a working radio that was being sold as spares or repair. There's no point selling it as spares because it works. So £25 got me a very, very good handheld. So right, so I wish you 7-3 for now. Keep yourself safe and get on the radio if you unfortunately have to self-isolate for a period of time, which I think is about 2 weeks. Obviously, if you've come back from somewhere for holiday or you've contracted the coronavirus, unfortunately, which I really hope you haven't. So just get on the radio and talk to people and don't feel isolated while you're isolating. Radio's there to be enjoyed, and hopefully in the not too distant future I might be able to start work on the other little, well, big project I spoke about. So I'm hoping to get that started soon as well. At the moment, obviously, I'm having to wait until the conditions are correct, which will say. So 7-3s for now, and enjoy the radio. And as I said, if you've got to isolate, don't feel isolated whilst you're isolating. So, and don't forget to like, subscribe, ring the bell, and that sort of thing. 7-3s for now, guys.
Don't forget, you can subscribe to this channel and ring the bell to be notified of new videos as I upload them. 7-3 from Paul, you know my amateur radio call sign, or 26 Charlie Tango 730 if you catch me on 11 metres, and PMR 446. Or if you want to use handles, you can call me the Red Squirrel. 7-3 for now, guys.